Welcome to another Bermuda Football Association referee show here on IronStats.com. Joining me today, first guest is Stephen Mabry. Stephen, give us an account of your background of football.
I started in Bermuda. Well, everybody grows up watching football on TV and stuff in Bermuda. But as far as me playing football and stuff, I played at a young level, but never really developed. Kept playing football. I kind of became more of a student of the game from an analytical standpoint. But as far as actually playing football, I played with Western United. I trained with them since the team started.
Okay.
And I've been a linesman for that team since the second year
that
they've been in Corona League. So it's like a family, but Western United is really like home to me as far as football goes.
Right. Okay. So we got a little background on you. Why you just felt assisting in that manner was helping the club. So why now come over to the Bermuda Football Association?
Well, Martin and Swenson both have reffed Corona League games and have been encouraging me to come BFA for a couple years now, 2 years, and I finally gave in and said, you know what, I might as well give it a try, see what I can learn, do my job better.
What have you learned over this short period of time? Because it's good to see people that want to be involved in the game actually come on board. So what are some of the things you've learned in the short space of time that you've been on the association side of officiating?
More so, learned a lot under Lyndon. So you don't like to be called Mr. Ram. But I've learned a lot under him, actually. And a lot of the rules that have changed from traditional rules. Like before coming here, my understanding was if you were in an offside position and you ran towards the ball, you activated yourself.
Yes.
That made you offside.
Right.
But I've since learned, since being here, that's no longer the case. You can actually run to the ball, you can dominate the ball, and you're not offside. You're still in offside position, but you're not offside until you actually touch the ball or interfere with a defender's ability to get to the ball or gain an advantage from being in that position. But it was always my understanding that as soon as you ran to the ball, you activated yourself.
Right. That was a rule prior to this change of the rule.
So a lot of those new rules are what I've learned most.
What do you like about it the most?
I think I became good at it and then liked it.
Right.
I did it under just wanting to help the team when I was at West End, because every team has to put up a linesman.
Right.
So week in, week out, teams are fighting around. Who's going to run line this week? Who's going to run line this week? I ran line last week. No, I want to play. I run. And I was always too young to play.
Oh, okay.
So I was the perfect candidate. You know what? I'll help the team out. This is my way of contributing.
Okay.
So I would run the line, and then I got comfortable with it. And once I got comfortable with it, I liked it. And even like the crowd, like a lot of people don't like the hostility, but like I feed off of it. Like I don't. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
Like it's.
Well, you got an introduction in the Corona League, which it can be confrontational at times, but more of a relaxed atmosphere. Because a lot of these guys, they're still playing, but not.
It's not. Yeah.
So you get a handful of guys that are upset about certain things, but then, I mean, for the most part, they're happy playing. So, you know, they challenge you every once in a while, but once they see they can't sort of push you aside.
Yeah, as long I feel like as long as I'm comfortable with my decision.
Right.
Like if I know the right call, I'm fine. But I'll talk to you after the game. Kind of thing. Right. It doesn't faze me as long as I know my call was right. It doesn't faze me in the slightest.
Now that you're in and you're doing it in I wouldn't say not a proper manner, but now that you're involved more regularly, how far do you want to go in officiating?
As far as I can go, I think it would be an honor to get on the FIFA list, as Princeton's been pushing, and I feel like I could be good enough. But even if not, it's just I enjoy learning, knowing more, being better at it.
Right.
Even if I get to the point where I'm as good as others and don't have the paperwork to say it.
Right.
I just want to be better at it.
Now, you've done a lot of time on the sideline. Are you officiating youth games?
I was scheduled to last week.
Right.
Got rained out, but I did pageant and wolves last week, midweek.
Okay.
West End and BA yesterday, and there was a lot of stick about me getting the West End game, but I called it for a game.
Right.
Lyndon didn't even know I came from West
Oh,
End,
okay.
and he wouldn't been able to tell from my officiating.
Right. Yeah. There was an early call. Obviously, there was a foul for an offense committed just outside the box. You remember?
The penalty situation. I got a little stick for that, and let me defend myself.
Who gave you stick?
The fans.
Oh, okay.
Fans gave me stick on that, and in fairness to me,
right.
They said that's unfair that you called it outside the box, but no foul was called at all. The ref didn't call any foul.
Right.
So had I not put out my flag,
right.
You wouldn't even got the free kick.
Right.
So don't say I'm cheating.
Right.
I deemed it to be outside the area.
Right.
But the penalty wasn't given, and then I said no, it's outside the box. The penalty wasn't given.
Right.
I put up the flag,
right.
and then the penalty was given.
Right.
And then I just had a word with Lyndon and said, I called the foul, yes, but I wasn't
inside
in the box.
Right.
So, but yeah, it was. I know for sure it was the right call.
Right. But the good thing is, I didn't hear too much from the BAA players. Yeah, I heard the coach say one or two things, but not from the BAA players who I guess realized, okay, the foul was called by you outside the box by you.
Yeah.
And you just corrected the referee who saw the guy fall, so you flagged and thought, okay, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
But when you're working with a team officiating, communication's always a good thing. Yeah. Now Lyndon's a senior, a senior referee. A senior referee. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, but the exchanges amongst you guys prior to the game, halftime and stuff. How important is that?
It's crucial. Because I even had a talk with him. Just heard you get varying opinions amongst refs of how they want to officiate games. Mm-hmm. So before games, I understand now more than ever it's important to talk to that ref and understand their perspective of a rule or how they want to apply a law.
Right.
As far as like keep us inching off the line and a penalty. Like how much scope do you give?
Right.
I had a discussion with Lyndon before the game about what he considers a deflection.
Right.
Because a different ref might consider, hey, you attempted to play the ball, you didn't control it quite properly.
Right.
The guy that was in the offside position, he's now on one side. Versus a different ref might say, you know what, I need a little bit more than, hey, you swung at it and it touched you.
Right. Okay.
So it's important to get the refs because I can adapt. Whatever I know how I prefer it to be called, but I'll call it however my man in the middle wants it called.
Right. Okay. Are you still having fun with it?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. That wouldn't go away. My passion for the game, the fun, it doesn't roll off. I enjoy it.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, Stephen, thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
Your message to people your age, maybe even younger, to get on board and officiate.
It's a hard sell if you don't like the environment.
Right.
If you like, you can learn the rules, you can learn the laws. It's the environment. If you like the environment, please learn the laws, please learn the rules. Because I think it's harder to get somebody to like the environment than it is to teach them the laws. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
No problem.
Up next will be Dwight Jackson, who will be the next guest. Dwight, as everyone knows, has a background in education. Very well respected young man. And now officiating.
Imagine that.
Wow. First of all, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
I appreciate it.
Yesterday, you happened to be involved in the St. George's 40 Kings match. Is that your not your first match this season?
No, I think I'm maybe about 10 matches in.
Okay. Are you that much more comfortable in decision making now?
Well, yeah. Initially, because I've always been in the middle, unofficially as a ref or whatever. What was interesting, and my colleagues tease me now. It was always a matter of switching hands with the flag because I'm just used to putting up one hand, and so it's a matter of switching hands. But I'm worked out the kinks now.
Okay, all right. What you said at the beginning, you were always in the middle. I guess at youth games and so forth.
Youth games,
Masters.
masters, yeah, with my club Hamilton Parish, blah blah blah. Yeah.
So you decided, you know what? Let's make it official.
Like, you know what? No, it was pretty much so, but I'm realizing that it's a matter of if you want to solve the problem, then you have to be part of the solution.
Yes. Yes.
So I have broad shoulders, and what's interesting is a lot of the chaps that I'm officiating for or against or whatever, I actually teach them.
Right. Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's a no-brainer. But so I mean, it comes really easy.
Right. Right.
It comes really easy.
Right. Your attitude towards the game over the years, has it changed now that you understand rules a little more?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like I'll give you a case in point or whatever. It's like couldn't understand even looking at the game on TV or whatever. You couldn't understand why referees made the type of calls that they made. Specifically, come to find out now, which I didn't know, and even some of my peers didn't know, that with respect to a penalty, blowing for a penalty, if your feet are outside of the line, but part of your body is over the line, then it's a penalty. I didn't know that before. I thought your feet had to be in. So I'm saying it's little nuances like that that I wasn't aware of before. But it's very interesting when you actually read the laws and read the rules and figure out the rationale why. Then it becomes okay. You know what? That makes sense.
Right. Now, interpretation of the law, because you all sit around the class and you all drilled on different laws, but you see things differently from me. But consistency is one of the things I know here in Bermuda we're trying to work on as far as refereeing or officiating. Over the short period of time that you've been involved, have you seen that improvement of consistency?
Yeah, well, the teams that I've worked with, the 3-man teams that I've worked with, yeah, it's been pretty consistent. What's interesting is like I was having this conversation the other day, and it was like I'm a unionist at heart. I'm a unionist. Listen, when we talk about our CBA, our collective bargaining agreement, you don't always want to follow the letter of the law because that would make the game very static and blah blah blah. But you go to it when you need to. So with respect to football, you want to let the game flow.
Yes.
You want to let the players play. But when it's time to apply a law or apply a rule or whatever, then you can go like if it's a gray area, if it's like too much over the edge or too much of this or whatever, then that's when you apply such and such. That's the way that I look at it. Because above all, you want to entertain, you want it to be attractive, and you want it to be flowing and so on and so on. And so that's the way that I look at it. That's the way that the 3-man teams that I've worked with or whatever, that's the way that they've applied it as far as I see. So it works.
What is it about the game that attracts you? Or were you just that much in support of Hamilton Parish that you wanted to make sure that the club was always involved?
Well, you know, I'm a very much community oriented person. I'm with Hamilton Parish, I'm with Bayless Bay. I'm on both executive committees. I'm very involved in my community. So I'm not a spring chicken no more.
Yeah.
So I mean, when it comes to just keeping a certain involvement in the game. I mean, yes, I play Masters, but I don't play like I used to play when I was 20 years ago or whatever. So I mean, it's like this is a good opportunity for me to keep a certain level of fitness. It's still keeping me involved. I'm enjoying it. Seriously, heard Stephen talk about the crowd and all that stuff. Really, I have a good rapport with the crowd, and what's interesting is they give you good feedback.
Right.
If you made a bad call, but then if they will let you know it, but then after a while, if you're confident in what you done, 5 minutes later, oh, yeah, that's good call, right? That's good call, right? Yeah. So I'm saying or whatever. There's almost immediate feedback from the players as well, and they say that was a good game because I think they appreciate good refereeing as well and good linesmen as well, good ARs rather. So I have to do my job, and what's interesting is like you pick up on the lingo that the refs have with the players or whatever. And what's common is that we say you make more mistakes than me. So that's the reality of it, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, I'm having a good time. I feel like this is a no-brainer for me because it keeps me involved and I'm connected to the sport.
Yeah. Well, there's an opportunity for you to say hello to someone who's far away.
Okay.
Let's say it.
CJ, what's up, baby? No, that's my girl. She's lives in Brazil. She's a radio exchange student. She's my firstborn, and also my son Sancho lives in the UK. He's very involved in his cricket program, and I just wish both of them the best.
Well, they're still involved in Bermuda. Officiating. Dwight, thank you very much.
I appreciate
your time. You guys have got a course coming up very shortly, so I'll let you get back to that.
All right.
Joining me in a few minutes is none other than Stephen Cullington, well-known official or well-known footballer, former president of the North Village Community Club. Also, he was an executive member of the Bermuda Football Association not too long ago. So give me a minute and we'll have Stephen Cullington joining us here on the referee's corner right here on IslandStats.com. Just going to go and get Stephen Cullington. As I said, Stephen Cullington.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Just because we're live on IslandStats.com. But you stayed involved in the game. Now you're officiating.
I am officiating. I thought this was going to be radio. I have a good face for radio. So I was. I'll leave it. Go live.
Don't look at the radio there. Look at the.
Okay. Officiating. I actually have been enjoying it so far. It comes with its challenges. Sometimes players and fans and can give you a challenge at times in terms of doubting yourself. Well, after studying the game, the rules and the laws of the game, you go prepared. We have weekly training sessions here at the Pride Best Center of Excellence. All referees and officials. We discuss challenging moments. We go over sometimes video of some things that has happened in the recent past, and I think has made me more aware of what to look for as an official.
Right.
Because as players, we look through different lenses.
Yes.
As coaches, we look through different lenses, and so everyone sees the game or looking for different aspects of certain technical pieces of the game. And I think it's been a good transition for me. I feel assured in what I'm doing, and of course, there are times in which you got to reflect.
Right.
And you say, "Hold up, what could I have done better? Could I have what could I have done differently with this call? If I do I do certain things in preparation? Because there's a fitness piece involved.
Yeah.
And a lot of people may not think so, but we do a lot of fitness as officials, and hopefully they can appreciate that. We are keeping up in the line. We are staying up with the play. whether that be as assistant referees or on the field of play as the main referee. So I've enjoyed it, and
Right.
I
Is
think
this
it's been
your
a good
way of
transition.
staying involved in the game?
My career has taken a turn in which I just could not train or keep up with a training session
Right.
week in, week out, 2 to 3 times a week. However, in refereeing, and I said to myself, oh, I can ref. I just have to show up to the game, but that wasn't necessarily the case. But even though we only train once a week, I do have time, like say when they have the games at 8:30 or 7:30, even if it's an expansion league game. So I have the opportunity to say, okay, I can keep myself involved and give back to our community, or at least to the sport I love and enjoy, in doing that rather than just doing nothing.
Right.
Because as principal, acting principal at this moment at my primary school, that's very demanding.
Right.
So I guess in a lot of ways it's hand in hand that you have to be studious and you have to kind of oversee and just hope that everyone respects
Right.
our decisions.
Yeah. Well, I know we're short on time because you guys are going to start your lesson in a few minutes,
Yes.
but I'd like to invite you back. So when we've got more time, we can go into your overall look at football, because you've done it from a player, administrator, not just at your club but at the association as well, and now you're officiating. So want to get that how that transition through your eyes, through your, you've lived it. So want to get that from you in the very near future. Okay. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
All righty.
Okay.
Yeah. Face for
Goodbye,
radio.
everyone.
Well, folks, that's it for the Bermuda Referee Sports show here on IslandStats.com. We'll be back next week where we'll feature more referees and hopefully